good morning, and I thought I would show you the TFG, the Gold G-Shock. Now I'm walking around this morning with this. This is my choice of watch for the day. I know it sort of matches my t-shirt, grey jacket, and gold G-Shock. It's kind of cool, isn't it? And I'm a sucker for this high-end thing, and hence the gold G-Shock. But why don't I turn the camera? I suppose this is a walk and talk, and the gold G-Shock. It's because I'm shooting this video because I literally was putting on a watch this morning, and I thought, which one is it going to be? But this gold thing, this gold TFG, it gets wrist time a lot. Now, for me, I don't think there's anything wrong at all wearing a gold watch or a gold square G-Shock, but people tell me it's outrageous and it's peculiar. And so what? I'm not bothered about being outrageous and peculiar. I'm bothered about being cool and looking the part. But there you go. But I thought I would chat about G-Shock again, and hopefully I'm not boring people, but I keep thinking to myself, I'm laying in bed at night or trying to do some work, and I'm thinking, what I need to do is explain on camera why I like these full metal squares, because these full metal squares actually pulled me back over to the dark side with electrical watches or digital watches, and of course G-Shock, because it's such a dominant player in the digital watch space. And when I first saw these digital watches being released, I couldn't believe it. I was full of intrigue. Actually, whilst I'm on, literally as I'm making this video, I've thought to myself, I actually have to make another video, and so perhaps I will put this as the precursor to the next video, because I've got the original silver version and the porter, and I think that will look very good. So maybe I'll use this video as the beginning of that video. That sort of makes sense, doesn't it? Okay, I shall do that. So it has started to rain. I don't know if you can see, but it doesn't matter. We can roll with a drop of rain. There shouldn't be any rain on the lens because I can see it on the viewfinder. Anyway, so I know that the one that started off this morning's walk and talk is the TFC. Now look at that. That is brilliant. For many different reasons, but whilst I was doing the walk and talk, it leaded me onto the conversation why I like full metal squares, and how I got back into G-Shocks, and this is the reason why. Now, back in 2018, G-Shock announced that they were releasing the full metal square, this one, the GMW-B5000D. And I think very quickly after they announced this one, the TFC and the TFG were announced. And when I saw the images, I was blown away, because I thought, seriously, this is too cool. This is too cool for school, that these full metal squares are in existence, and we are going to have them have the traditional resin square made in stainless steel. So all the things I like about watches were offered and reported they were going to be released. This was 2018. Now, this was not limited, and today it is still in production. That is 7 years later. This model you can still buy on the website, brand new today. And I do apologize, you are going to see raindrops because it is raining. Doesn't matter. So this is the one that is still very popular today. And of course the case back has the shock resist detailing, and then all the other bits of information indicating it's not a limited in short supply version. These two were released as part, they're both limited and were released to celebrate 35 years of G-Shock. So you've got the Eric Hayes icon there on the back that makes them uber cool, I think. And on the TFC here, we've got Eric Hayes appearing on the back there as well. How cool, hey? So that level of detail, and the fact that it's stainless steel bezel, bracelet, stainless steel case, stainless steel backplate, all diamond-like coating treatment, and the red spacer. I don't know if you can see the red. There is a plastic shock absorber spacer between the case and the bezel. You might be able to see it more on the silver one. I'll try my best. I need to take the break. You might be able to detect the red spacer there between the case and the bezel. I can't tell on camera. It is there. So this is a solid stainless steel wristwatch. It does have a mineral crystal glass, but it's the best quality you can get your hands on. And all the titanium versions have sapphire crystal. I believe this is, even though this is the limited, very desirable edition, I'm sure it's the mineral crystal glass on here. Once again, this year, this is going to be released with this dial and glass and detailing the thin red line. We're going to have a silver version of this year. And so the MRG with the shimmering thin red line, we're going to have a stainless steel version here. So it's basically this, but with the thin red line and the gold and blue extra detailing, where this is much more muted. Some people will prefer this because it's because it's muted and it's less showy than this with its colours. Once again, the colourway of this is how they released it in 1983. So this is uber brilliant, really, if you think about it. It's so cool. Anyway, so these are the three watches that really got me going with respect to G-Shock, because also I think it was mentioned that the module was going to be updated, including Bluetooth, multiband 6, and the technology for solar recharge. These three watches are they're all solar enabled, and because they're not old enough yet, I don't think anyone has ever had to have the rechargeable battery replacing. But I'm expecting that these modules and batteries are going to last 10, 15, 20 years, no problem. These are, once again, I do apologise, I can see rain on the dial, but what I will do is, as I'm going along, I'll wipe off the rain blobs. But still today, and it's why because the silver one I least wear. It's not often I actually do wear the silver one. In fact, I mean, I have worn it, so I can't say I don't wear it. But it's the one that I wear the least. But in actual fact, I suppose what I should say is when these three were released, and I liked them, I actually didn't want the gold one because I thought it was too much. The two that I wanted and I got were these two, because I thought the gold was too much, but I understood why they were offering a gold model, this one, because it's uber cool. So initially when I saw this, I thought it was too much. I did not want it. I only wanted these two. And I remember the day that these two arrived in this huge box, because This was in a porter bag case that's the size of a small suitcase. And I couldn't believe the packaging and how big the box was. It was fabulous. And then this was in a normal size box that's still quite large, but it was inside the outer packaging of this. So the whole thing was huge. There was only one box, and inside this one and this one. And I think it was the most excited I'd ever been receiving a wristwatch, because I knew they would be good, but when I got them in the hand at the very beginning, that was when I thought, you have got to be kidding. This is the best thing on planet Earth. I'm just wiping off the rain. This is the best thing on planet Earth. These are just so unbelievably fabulous. And I do remember unpacking this, sizing the bracelet, and because it was more expensive than the others, I remember, babying it, thinking, I mustn't mark it. And I remember wearing it in the house like this, and I thought, this is the top of the food chain with respect to wristwatches. And if you like wristwatches, I couldn't believe it. I was absolutely besotted with this watch, and I thought it was the coolest thing ever. Now, what's interesting is at that time, so this is 7 years ago, so this is a little while ago, and as we know, being a watch enthusiast stroke collector, your tastes do change. And I did have a hiatus around this point where I got into mechanical watches again, and there was a time when I was less bothered about these watches about a year later, and I was less concerned. I don't know, it was an odd time. But I definitely went off these. But it was only about a year later, and then a year after that, I got back in, and I thought, why on earth did I ever, why did I lose my interest in the first place? Because today, and it is days like this, I look at these three watches. I remember receiving these two, and I was so pleased with the build quality, the functionality, that I thought, I'm at the top here. I'm never going to experience liking a watch more than these ever again. It was years later that I started noticing this, because I'd seen a couple of YouTube interviews. I actually saw a Hodinkee video on this, and I forget the journalist's name, but he's a very cool guy. He mentioned this, and he said it's a bit loud. It's not really under the radar at all, but he sort of liked it in context. And I think it might have been that video that started getting me looking further at this. And then something happened to me, some, chemical action in my head said to me, hold on, this is majorly cool. And then I engaged with, the hunt, which people in the watch industry talk about. The hunt is more pleasurable than obtaining the thing. And I sort of get it, because there was one heck of a job finding this, because I wanted it in brand new condition. And but it wasn't easy to get my hands on this. It was a nightmare. Anyway, it arrived, and I thought, wow, all my opinions about gold IP plating and gold watchings were changing. Saying that, I'd always liked the gold, some Rolex gold pieces. So I had liked gold, but I really had associated gold to mechanical watches. So I hadn't really associated gold to digital watches. But after a while, I started thinking, no, this is absolutely fantastic. This is the way forward. I worried a couple of times, and I thought, nope, this is the way forward, because it contrasts nicely with grey clothing or black t-shirts or black jeans. Anything white, in fact, I think I've worn it with everything. I thought it is so wearable, it's so interesting because of its colour. And you can see there the 3D depth of the bezel against the crystal, and there's a little bit of depth between the crystal and the LCD display, and it all gives this lovely visual interest. It really is very nice. Anyway, but then I fell very hard for this gold TFC, and I've been into mechanical and digital watches in gold ever since, and I prefer, you know, the gold being real gold as well. But I'm also happy with IP plating because, you know, the IP process actually hardens the steel that it's normally done on, although you can IP titanium. Anyway, there you go. It's another watch and talk, brief history of the 1983 recreation in stainless steel of the G-Shock Square that has been absolutely fundamental in this market space. It's absolutely delightful. Anyway, there you go. The TFC, the TFG and the B5000D. Probably these three are some of the most successful watch releases that Casio have ever offered, have ever released. Anyway, I do hope everybody is well and speak again very soon.